Support for this episode of PBS Reno Arts is provided by the Nevada Arts Council. Arts and creativity make us stronger, fueling innovation, prosperity, and thriving communities across Nevada. They boost our economy, promote well-being, and enhance education, empowering Nevadans of all ages. The Nevada Arts Council nurtures these essential creative forces. Together, let's elevate the arts in every corner of our great state. More at nvartscouncil.org. This is PBS Reno Arts. I'm Dave Santita in the studio of PBS Reno in Reno, Nevada, and I'm excited. We have a guest here who is kind of a surprise in a way for me. Molly Carr is in town and performing with the Juilliard String Quartet. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
So we have you here because you're making up a concert that we were going to talk about back in February, and then there was a blizzard, and
we got snowed out.
You got snowed out. And it's the thing I never think about. They canceled a performance. That's got to be pretty rare, right?
Surprisingly, no.
No, really?
Yeah, I feel like the weather's getting wilder and wilder, and so there's sometimes nothing you can do. You show up and snow wins.
Snow does win. Well, I'm glad you're back now. So you're in town to perform. We're recording this on May 12th. You're performing tonight. So we're lucky to get you for a few minutes, and thanks for coming in. You're not only in town for a makeup, this is also kind of a homecoming for you, right? You grew up in this area.
I grew up here, yeah.
So how did your path take you from Reno, Nevada to Juilliard?
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, how much time do we have? So I grew up in Reno, Nevada because both of my parents are geologists, and their jobs took them where the rocks are and the minerals are.
Makes sense.
So, so growing up here, I actually was also homeschooled.
Okay.
My mom taught me
geology.
Wow. And so, part of that homeschooling was music, and she just wanted me to be a well-rounded human. And so she asked me, what instrument do you want to play? And the story goes that I said, well, I want to play drums. And she said, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Not in our house. And so I chose violin, and turns out I had an affinity for it. And then about 5 years later, I was handed a viola. My violin teacher, Karen Neidhold, at the time, she still lives here.
Nice.
Going strong. She wanted to start a chamber music group, but she didn't have any violists, and I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
And so she pulled together 3 violinists, and we drew straws, and I got the short straw, and my life was changed from that moment on. I fell in love with this instrument, and sort of decided within 2 years from then that this is what I wanted for the rest of my life. And so that took me to crazy places. Like I got to audition for Perlman music program. Itzhak Perlman runs a summer festival. So when I was 14, I took off to that festival, and that just reconfirmed everything I wanted. So that was the path to New York City. And I moved there when I was 18, and I'm still there.
Yeah.
So
you're not that much older than you were then.
Only a couple months.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's probably a bit of a culture shock for a homeschooled Reno-ite to go to New York.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was, and sometimes now teaching students that come in to New York City, I can see when that is happening. I think it was good that it happened to me, that it just, to trade the Sierra Nevadas and the desert for concrete and massive skyscrapers it's a lot. It takes a toll on your psychology. And so when I see that happening, okay, you need to go for walks in Central Park. You need to breathe. You need to get out of the city a little bit.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
You can coach people. You can coach your students beyond music. You're talking about how to survive.
How to survive a totally new environment, very intense environment. Juilliard is not the most chill place on the planet.
Not known for chillness. No, it's not at all. So because of your affiliation with the Juilliard String Quartet, that's what brings you out here to perform. Mm-hmm. And so you're also teaching at Juilliard. And so teaching by itself is a demanding job. I know some teachers, now they're not teaching music at Juilliard, but they're teaching in various capacities, and it's a hard, demanding, time-consuming, sometimes all-consuming job, but you're also performing all over the world. How do you balance that?
I'm not sure. I feel like this has been a really intense season. For a lot of reasons. One of them being that we have a new member, a second violinist, new player in the Juilliard String Quartet, and so just getting our playing up and running, and on top of touring, and then on top of teaching, it's been intense. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe ask me in a year, and maybe it'll get easier. But yeah, it is. When you join the Juilliard String Quartet, it comes as a multi-layered job. It's just you join the faculty at Juilliard, and you're expected to share your experience and knowledge, and I love it. I knew long before I joined the quartet that I wanted that to be a really big part of my life. I love to see those light bulb moments in students that, when I have struggled, just like moving to New York City, and you can see when someone is, trying to work through something, and if you end up being able to contribute, your life experience and make that journey a little easier, I love it. I love it to be able to guide people into going for what they love and getting there.
Yeah, and you've written about that as well. We're going to get to that in a minute, because beyond the Juilliard String Quartet, you're also in a duo, the Carr Petrova. Petrova, is that the proper
Petrova, yeah.
Carr Petrova duo with, is it Anna or Anna? Anna, how do you properly say it?
She takes either, but I say Anna.
Anna Petrova, who's a pianist or a pianist. I always get this wrong. I
think it depends on it depends on where you are in the world.
Okay.
And so
it's like Nevada.
Yeah.
people outside of here don't want to say it the way people here want to say it. So you're playing viola, she's playing piano. You've created a duo. How did that come about? That's an interesting combination.
It is. Yeah. There's not that many duos out there that are viola piano. It's a shame, because I personally think that the viola is like one of the most beautiful, sonorous instruments out there. It has so much to say, and it's sort of been the underdog of the classical music world. It's always been the hidden inner voice, and the instrument that is in the shadow of the violin, cello, piano. But in the past century, people have started to realize its potential, and it started to step into the spotlight, the solo spotlight. And so I love playing in this duo because one, it's a challenge. It's something that, again, not a lot of people are doing. They aim their playing as violists into chamber music, orchestral settings, but to stay in the spotlight and to demand of yourself a certain level of commitment, artistry, excellence is exciting, is fun, it's challenging. And I also love that by having this duo, I get to build the solo and duo repertoire for the viola. So I've been commissioning a lot of works and bringing them into the viola piano duo repertoire. And that, it's been a very challenging and fulfilling element of my life.
Yeah, and you have a recent release with the Carr Petrova duo called Hers.
Yes.
Tell me about Hers.
Yeah, so Hers is an album that is made up entirely of works by female composers from like back in the 1500s actually, up until just a couple years ago. And Anna and I actually, when we formed the duo, we have this process where at least once a year we sit down and, drink tea, drink coffee, get comfortable and dream.
Nice.
And brainstorm and just make sure that everything that we're doing as a duo is what we want to be, what we love to do, what we really want to be aiming at. And so when we did this back in the pandemic, we were living. It's a long story, but we were living in the same house. We were like the only two classical musicians that were like housed together during the social distancing. And so we spent most of the pandemic just like exploring, brainstorming, rehearsing, playing new repertoire, and just enjoying making music. Yeah,
like
in her living, in our PJs,
retreat.
And her,
like you had a private music retreat.
Yeah, I feel guilty with everything that was going on in the world, but it was a really special time for us. And so part of these brainstorm sessions was we assigned each other to go, she went to the second floor, I stayed on the first floor, and we had to go and research composers that we would love to play.
Nice.
And then we were supposed to come back together and share and see, if there was some program that we could build that had some thread or something that would tie things together. And it turned out that a lot of the pieces and composers and music that we shared with each other were the same between the two of us. When we came back, we wanted Beyonce.
Oh, really? Okay.
We wanted Hildegard von Bingen, who is an amazing woman from back in the medieval times. She was doing everything that a woman should not have been able to do at that time. That she was a composer, she was a musician, she was an astronomer, she was a mathematician, she was a doctor. She did so many things, and we still celebrate and remember her for that. And so we wanted to use some of her music in the album.
Nice.
We also had different friends that we love their music. And so we decided we were going to commission them. We were just going to compile this thing. And lo and behold, all of the music that we brought to each other was all women. It was surprising.
It wasn't intentional.
Was surprising. It wasn't intentional.
Oh, okay.
And so, we went, okay, we got to do something about this. We're going to make an album. We're going to make this a real thing. And what better thing to call it than Hers?
Right.
And so it's been amazing the past couple of years, getting to tour the program and just share the stories of the people behind each of the musical works. And it feels like a celebration. That like any of the comments that we've gotten from those concerts, people come up and say, just thank you for telling these stories. Like, thank you for speaking our women's truth, our mama's truth.
Yeah.
Actually, another amazing part of this journey was right when that was coming out, I was having my first son.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
my first baby.
So a mother on top of it.
Yeah, and I'm 7 months in, about to have my second child.
Congratulations.
As well. Yeah,
Exciting.
She's coming this summer. And so this album really means a lot to us. It's like women who did it and paved the way before us.
I love it. And I've been playing little bits of it while we talk, because I want people to be able to hear it. But also, it's available for people to purchase, and probably in a lot of places. Where can people find Hers?
On any streaming platform, any digital streaming platform. Also, I think it's on Amazon. I think you can find it on our website. We tried to put it out there like in every possible way.
Yeah, and your website is carpetrovaduo.com, correct?
Yeah.
And it looks like Carpet
Rover.
Carpet Rover Duo, but it's
Yeah.
Petrova Duo, all one word,
Yeah.
.com. So there are a lot of places people can get a copy or listened to the music. And I just love the story. I think it's really a fun and inspirational sort of platform from which you grew this, and I think that's exciting. Are you working together on anything coming up? You have another release coming down the road?
We do. It's been a long time in coming because babies.
Yeah.
She also a couple months after I had my first son, she had her first son. So we're both mamas now, and so this is a whole new world for us and trying to make time for these projects as well. But we have an exciting something we're really excited about, and again, has been a long time in coming. It's called our American album, and it has, obviously, this is America 250.
Right.
This year we're in, and I think that means a lot of different things for a lot of different people.
Yes.
And so we have on the album a sonata by Amy Beach, which you can also hear one of her pieces on the Hers album. We just love her music. And we stole it from the violin repertoire because it's so beautiful. We also have a sonata by Lowell Lieberman, which is a kind of a dark, creepy theatrical sonata. That we just we really liked it, and we wanted to dig into it. And then we also have a piece that we together with the Juilliard School commissioned over the past couple of years that is called Together We Climb, and it's based off of the poem that was read at the Biden inauguration by the National Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman.
Right.
And I remember we were together watching, Anna and I were together watching that inauguration, and just, whatever your political beliefs, that poem was like, come on, we can do it.
Yeah.
Come on. This is, remember what we can do when we work together.
Yeah. Inspirational.
And so we asked 5 different composers of all different backgrounds to just write what they heard in that poem.
I love that instruction.
Yeah, and we came back with just very different works of art, and we just premiered it in February this year, actually on President's Day.
All right.
And we're hoping to record it sometime in the next couple months, so we'll release the full album hopefully by the end of the year. But I don't know, babies, we'll see.
Babies tend to interfere.
Yeah.
They tend to mess up your recording sessions and your release plans.
Yeah. In a wonderful way.
In their own, and they have their own agenda, and they will follow it no matter what.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about CarPetrovaDuo.com is the blog that you both you contribute to, and you wrote quite a few entries there on that blog, and a couple of them I really liked. One of them that just struck me as beautiful and important was you wrote about being a loser. You called yourself a loser, but in a particular context. Can you tell about that story?
Yeah. Well, so when I joined the Juilliard String Quartet, my first tour to Japan, we had an interview, not unlike this one, where we were asked all different questions, the 4 of us. And one of the questions was, have you been to Japan before? And, what was the context? And we, one by one, answered, the Juilliard String Quartet is 80 years old. I'm not 80 years old. So we have different generations in the quartet. And so, some people answered, yeah, this is my 15th time to Japan and blah, blah, blah. And when it came to me, I was really nervous to answer because I had indeed been to Japan before, and I had actually been in the exact same hall that we were sitting in getting this interview. Okay. But it was in a context where I had come for the Tokyo International Viola Competition. I had played and sucked. I played really badly, and I got kicked out first round. And so when they were asking me that, I was like, do I say this? Do I if I say this, then I'm like bringing down the legacy, the 80-year-old legacy of this quartet. People are going to think like all this. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, people will think like, wow, well, they really brought in a loser into this quartet. And so when it came to me, I very sneakily said, as part of the Juilliard Quartet, I've never been here before. And I just politicianed it.
Yeah, good slippery move.
Yeah, well, and as soon as I said it, my stomach turned and I just felt like, ugh. And so I kept thinking about it. And on our bus ride to another venue somewhere else in Japan, I pulled out my computer and I wrote this blog post and I released it, and it was to let the world know that like I had been in Japan before, and when I was there, I was a recently graduated from Juilliard student or ex-student, and I failed, and I failed in the terms of a competition, and I felt like right at that time I also had a couple students that were just devastated by having not won a prize in a competition. And here I was telling them it's not about that. It's about, the journey. And then here I was like telling a little fib into the whole world that like, I don't fail. and so it really bothered me. And I wrote this blog post to say like, hey, you know what? I'm a loser. We're all a loser. If you are in a career, and you're following your dream, you're following what you really love to do, it kind of means that you fail every day. And the journey of failing is learning. And then if you really do stick with it, you get better. Right. And so that I wrote about this and apologized for telling this lie, and I ended up getting I was surprised by the amount of response that I got when I released that everyone was like, me too, right. too. Thank you so much for saying this. It feels like this industry only accepts people that are like have a shell that is, right. Ready for a nuclear atomic explosion, can withstand, anything. And also, people that are essentially narcissist, that is celebrated of like, well, this is how, if you show that you're weak, if you show that you failed, oh, you might, you'll be tossed off to the side. And I feel like being given the gift of being in a prominent position in the Juilliard String Quartet, to be able to say to the people coming after me, you know how I got here? Mm-hmm. It's through sucking, failing, getting up again and trying. And so that was that blog post.
It was fantastic. I love it. And it's such a great message. There are plenty of times I should have had that blog post in my back pocket. Maybe even before you wrote it. But I just love the message. So I appreciate that you were willing to write that and expose yourself that way, because it is a vulnerability that you're creating for yourself. You don't know how people are going to react to that, but they reacted the right way because it was brave and relatable. And so many people have gone through that experience without being able to share it, so I think you probably saved a lot of psyches with that, some mental health
I hope
benefits
so.
For people to realize, okay, I'm not alone. And this is, look at this person who's willing to write this and post it for the world to see. I'm okay. I bet you probably touched a lot more people than you even heard from, who you'll never know how much good you've done with that. And I think that's spectacular. So thank you for writing it. I appreciate that. I personally appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
You've also done some other incredible work that I wanted to touch on, which is you founded and you're the artistic director for an organization called Project Music Heals Us.
Yes.
This is quite an organization. Can you introduce us to Project Music Heals Us?
Yes. So Dave, this is my heart and soul. This is my core. All of the other stuff I do it's fulfilling. I love it, but it doesn't come close to how I feel when I'm working in this nonprofit. The story goes, when I had graduated from Juilliard, after I had sucked in Tokyo,
Right.
I ended up sort of losing my belief in music. Sort of started to feel like I was a bit of a hamster in a wheel of just like, okay, next concert. Okay, if you can't lose this one. If you play badly, you won't get this contact, and then they won't ask you to come here. Okay, so you better practice. You better, I just like this, just relentlessly. And so I started to really feel exhausted and just, why am I doing this? Why did I choose this? What is this? And so I started to call home and say, Mom and Dad, I think I might want out. I think I might want to be looking at different careers. And, they said, absolutely not. Get your butt back in the ring. And so I kept feeling this and continuing on, and sort of like what I felt like was losing my soul in a way. And so as I kept thinking, like, is it time to quit? Do I want to do something else? What about this, that? Finally, I was faced with an injury that made it so that I had to quit. I broke a glass bowl, shattered it into my finger.
Ow.
And yes, it was ow. And that's really not a great thing to do when you have to put flesh on metal. And if glass is in between, it's not great. And it turns out that surgeons can't find glass when it's, shattered in little pieces. And so I had several surgeries and just trying to find these shards. And I still have a couple tiny ones left, but they tell me they'll come out in about 50 years, which is not helpful for right now. But
yeah, set your schedule for the concert in 50 years. Yeah. She's going to be 100%.
Yeah. So during this time was like, oh, wait a second. So a life without viola? Oh, is this what this is? Is this what this is going to be? Is this whoa? Okay, This is what I wanted. And so during that time, I ended up taking a nursing aid course with the American Red Cross, because one of the things that had been percolating in the back of my mind for a couple years was, maybe I want to be a nurse. Maybe this is, something that maybe is the alternate path that I want to do. And so I tried my hand at it. And part of that training was taking care of patients hands-on. After you did the all the informational training, you go and actually use it and have to pass the course. And so in part of that, I was assigned a late stage Alzheimer's patient whose name was Ruth. And I was told that Ruth had not spoken in years, that she was in the stage of her disease that her body, her mind didn't only not remember, her body was, in a very flexed up, tight, uncomfortable position. And the only way that I would be able to move her to get her ready for the day would be with a crane. And so I was warned, when you go in, you have to harden your heart, and you have to deal with the screams.
Oh. That's quite a warning.
Yeah. So my supervisor was like, I know it's going to be a tough job for you. Get in, get out, get the job done. You don't have time to do anything else. So I went in and I failed miserably. Okay. I couldn't handle the screams. And so instead of doing my job, I sat down and I just held her hand, and I sat in complete silence for maybe 90 seconds. And lo and behold, this person who hadn't spoken in years turned to me and started speaking in complete sentences, asking me things that showed that she was aware, if not all the time, but she was aware of things going on around her. And so she asked me things like, are you with the American Red Cross? Like, I wasn't wearing an American Red Cross anywhere. Like, so she knew that like there were teams that would come in. So that showed, okay, there's an awareness. Do you have a boyfriend? You're not from Connecticut. Are you from New York? Where's your accent? Yeah. So like, and I was just, whoa, what's going on here? And so I really fell in love with Ruth, and every day I would spend time with her, and even if I wasn't assigned to her and I saw her like across the room, she would talk. She would talk to her caretaker there when, everyone had been saying like she had. So I fell in love with Ruth. And on the last day of my training, I sat and held her hand again. And I said, Ruth, I have this alter ego that plays, at one point played the viola, like teaches at Juilliard, performs in all these places. And I haven't been able to play in a couple months. And if I can play again, I'm going to bring all of my colleagues from around the world, all my mentors, to come and play at your bedside. And so I left that day, and I felt like it's time to play. It's time to the wonderful thing that I didn't realize, the more I think about it, looking back, over almost 15 years now since that moment, was that the connection started in silence. It started there was no music there. It was human to human connection.
Yeah.
And the next layer was conversation. And the layer after that then was the type of communication, the type of conversation that I had honed my whole life to be able to say from the deepest places of my soul, I love you. Mm-hmm. I care for you. This is like history from hundreds of years back that people are saying the same thing. Let me talk to you in this way. So I got to watch, a couple months later, I retrained myself on how to play differently. I use my finger, my busted finger differently. It serves a different purpose as I play. Some things I can do and some things I can't. But yeah, I brought my colleagues back to play at her bedside about 6 months later, and I got to watch as I played a Mozart viola quintet at her bedside. I got to watch as she started out again just like in pain and like fighting the world with her mouth down like this, her eyes clenched and just like, and so like hurting. And within the first couple lines of playing for her, I got to watch one eye poke open. Then a couple lines later, the next eye. And by the end of the movement we were playing for her, her shoulders were down, her breathing was deep, her face was released, her mouth was wide open. And that was it. I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to find as many people as possible that are in extremely isolated spaces like Ruth, and I want to go in and create a space where music breaks down the boundaries of communication and builds a safe, kind, loving space for people. And so from that moment, now we're ending our 12th season, and we played for over 30,000 Ruths around the world. We exist in 3 branches. Wow. One that is in hospitals, like what we served with Ruth. At one point, we were in 48 hospitals across the U.S. During the pandemic, we went online, and we were bringing musicians who were stranded in their homes. They would set up a camera and Zoom, and they would zoom into COVID ICUs to play for patients, and it was it was a wild journey. That was also with Anna in her living room. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we exist in 3 branches with hospitals, in prisons, and then also in international underserved communities. So the short word for that is slums.
Okay.
So we
How do you perform for them? Is it digitally? Is
So
it in person? How do you do it?
both.
Okay.
So we don't perform there. We actually do distance learning.
Oh, gotcha.
One of the crazy things that I did with Anna was to go around the world and play in refugee camps back in 2018. And we, through our travels, discovered that there is a heck of a lot of talent out there and no resources.
Right.
And so when we, during the pandemic, started, zooming into all of these hospitals across the U.S. and also my teaching went online. I was teaching students in Australia that were stranded there. That was like our regular day of just reaching out across the globe and doing distance learning. Anna and I both went, oh my gosh, these kids that we met in the camps, they have phones. Why don't we try this? And so our first location was the Deheshe Palestinian refugee camp that we visited in 2018. We are in partnership still with the Edward Said National Conservatory of Palestine. And they're in 5 locations, or were until October 7th.
Right.
And so we connected with them, and we do distance learning into their 4 other locations, teaching their students. We also have a very robust program in Kenya, in the Korogocho slum in Kenya. We once a year visit in person to go do a festival and work with our students there. But the rest of the time we're teaching them actually the Juilliard pre-college curriculum. And we use, their curriculum in order to give them skills that if they didn't have that, they would be spending their day looking for things to sell on a dump.
Right.
And so to be able to give a skill that could actually make money is just life-changing. So yeah, and our last location is we just opened in a refugee camp in northern Iraq. So
okay.
Yeah, so it's a wild ride. And and actually the really big exciting thing that I really need to talk about, and I know I've talked too much now, is that our prison program is launching in Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had 3 residencies so far since last summer. We have partnered with the Poet Laureate of Nevada, who has been teaching classes into prisons for the past 16 or more years.
We're talking about Sean Griffin?
Yes, thank you. I was struggling I kept talking, trying to find the name. But yes, Sean Griffin.
This is one I'm familiar with because many years ago I went into a prison with him to do a video production about him teaching poetry.
Amazing.
In the prison, and that was a day I will never forget.
So we are piggybacking on his years of work, and we are taking the poetry that they write, and we're having them make it into music.
Oh, I like that.
So yeah, and so we have. It's been an amazing journey. We have Bill Douglas. I don't know if you know him. Yeah, he was the head of the Basque studies at UNR for many decades. But he has been incredibly generous in saying, I want this program in Nevada. And so has given us a gift to launch. And so we're actively doing that now. Last week we're in Lovelock.
Okay, yeah.
Doing this programming, and it's just... it's amazing.
It's got to warm your heart to be able to do it in your home state.
Yes, very much.
It comes full circle in a way, right? You started here, and now you're bringing the fruits of your worldly experience back to do good.
And also just community is something that, it takes time, it takes trust, and to be able to come back to Reno, come back to my hometown, to my friends, to my family.
Yeah.
My home state has just been like just so rapidly, open arms, welcome to support this program. So it's really great.
I'm glad we get to talk about it, because it is obviously it's your heart, it's your passion. It does such good work. It does. You get to see the results. You've I'm sure seen the difference it makes.
Yeah, and yes, I have. There is so many ways I can answer that. Things that have shocked us, that, we go in and we say, we want to be able to, again, like Ruth, provide a moment of respite, a moment of kindness, a moment of, human to human communication and connection that is needed for all of us, whether we remember it or not.
Right.
But then the ripple effect from that is like, we did what? That like we'll get letters that say that, this prison is not a prison anymore since you were here.
Wow.
I see inmates that would never have talked to each other sitting in the yard talking about Beethoven and about how to transcend challenges and struggles, and how to like create in a way. What is that creation for? Like what? Like what?
I'm sure,
and we'll get from the prison guards that like, this is not the same vibe. Like, this is like we get from also prison guards saying, I never saw this inmate for who they were until this week, when I saw them write and express and like tell their story in a creative way. It's like, it's changing things through kindness from inside out.
Wow.
So yeah.
So it's everything you hoped and more.
Yes.
That's so exciting. Just to hear about it is it's tingling me. I'm reacting to that. It's so great. I love it. I'm so glad you were able to give us some time and talk about this, because I hope people who are learning about this are feeling the way I feel about it. Do you how do I put it? Do you need any assistance? Are you looking for support?
Yes.
It's a nonprofit, so I'm here at one right now. We're sitting in the middle of one. It's always about fundraising, right?
Yep. Always. Yeah. So if anyone has a couple billion in their back pocket, feel free to go to our website and push the donate button. But also just community.
Yeah.
Like when people care about something, they gather around it and beautiful things happen. And even if you don't know quite how you can contribute, get in touch. Maybe we can like have you come visit a program. We can have you be part of the program. We can have you spread the word about the program. We can have you host a concert that we can tell the story of the amazing things that are happening behind bars in this state, and how it makes a difference. Yeah.
Well, I if people do want to reach out, you mentioned the website. What is the website?
The website is pmhu.org. So it's a mouthful, the title, Project Music Heals Us. So we just shorten it, pmhu.org.
Okay, pmhu.org. And check it out, even if you're not going to bring $1 billion. Check it out, read more about it, learn more about it. I'm glad we were able to give you a little bit of a platform to talk about it, and hopefully somebody, if even one person who's hearing about this is moved to act in any way positively, I'm thrilled to be able to help bring it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for bringing in bringing yourself in today and giving us the time. I know you have a show tonight, so good luck. Break a leg.
You.
Can we say break a leg? I'm
just
scared.
Not a finger.
Yeah, I'm scared. You're still coming back from the finger. All right. Well, maybe down the road, next time you're in town, if you've got something else to something new going on, when your new music comes out, your America's disc. If you come to town, maybe we can talk about that a little bit.
Sounds great.
Love it.
Look
All
forward.
Right. Well, thank you, Molly Carr. Incredible. Want to mention to people, if you're watching this on PBS Reno, but you don't listen to podcasts normally, Check out more podcasts like this, if you'd like, on the pbsreno.org website. I know a lot of people don't listen to podcasts in the way that everybody else does, but can enjoy them on the website. So I want to suggest that. Now, before we go, I want to remind everybody to watch Artifacts on PBS Reno. That's via broadcast or streaming on pbsreno.org, the YouTube channel, or the PBS app. Also, read our Art Views blogs on pbsreno.org. Now, if you have a question or maybe a comment or a suggestion, if so, send them to me at podcasts@pbsreno.org. My thanks to Molly Carr, and I want to thank you for watching and listening PBS Reno Arts. Support for this episode of PBS Reno Arts is provided by the Nevada Arts Council. Arts and creativity make us stronger, fueling innovation, prosperity, and thriving communities across Nevada. They boost our economy, promote well-being, and enhance education, empowering Nevadans of all ages. The Nevada Arts Council nurtures these essential creative forces. Together, let's elevate the arts in every corner of our great state. More at nvartscouncil.org.